What is up? Welcome back to yet another Tim Tries. So in this video series, I try out stuff that I never did before. So I genuinely look at something the first time. So this time, I'm going to look into how to make sure that your design system for your project really connects to your technology. And so a couple of weeks ago, I saw my colleague Brian from New York give this demo on how to connect the creative work to the interactive style guide and to your code editor. And my mind was blown. And I always wanted to use this, but I never really saw it in practice. It was really hard to do. And now that the technology advanced a little bit, I'm more senior. I kind of know what I want now. I thought, okay, it's time. I'm just going to try this. So after the intro, we'll dive in what you can do with Figma, Zeplin, Storybook, and VS Code. There we go. Alright, so here in my browser, I just loaded a little image that I just photoshopped together. And here you'll see we have Figma, Zeplin, and Storybook. So basically, let me just go over what I think those are. Figma is kind of the new Photoshop, the new Sketch, but then online. It's all in a browser. It's really good. It's really good for web development. It's really good for making designs that are modular with components and reusable stuff and responsive stuff. Great stuff, right? So then we have Zeppelin. And Zeppelin is similar to projects like InVision, where you can kind of look at your designs online and they're all synced there. So Photoshop can sync there, Sketch can sync there, Figma can sync there, probably more. And then you can actually look at all the screens and you can inspect. So when you click on a button, you can actually see the code or you can see, well, whatever. It's really cool. So it also has like a style guide and you can see reusable components in it. So Zeppelin is kind of your source of truth for your design for everybody in your team. And then we have Storybook, which is basically what Zeppelin is, but then with actual front-end code. So here, this is what we call our living style guide. So apparently, what my colleague showed me, you can connect all of them up. So Figma and Zeppelin have a native connection. There's like a plugin you can use. So when you design something, you can sync it with Zeppelin. So then web developers would go to Zeppelin and actually have a look at that design. But wouldn't it be cool if those designs were directly also matched with your Storybook work, where you put your real code? And wouldn't it be cool if I could also link to, let's say, Confluence or a wiki or a ticketing system or my GitHub or my VS Code, all from Zeppelin. So this becomes like the hub, and this is possible. So today I'm going to try that. So when you have a look here, you actually have this connected components from Zeppelin. So this came out somewhere last year, you see, 6 months ago. So this is pretty new. And actually, when you go over it, you can see here in Zeppelin, you have some really cool side panel that actually shows me, like this, I guess this is a React button, right? And it has a open in GitHub, open in Storybook. I want this stuff. So I already did a bit of homework because I didn't want you to look at me creating projects and designs and setting up everything. So I have a Storybook running with one button inside. I already built it. So how about we go to Figma, create a button, and then sync that to Zeppelin, and then connect Zeppelin to my VS Code and how everything connects basically. Let's go for that. So first let's open Figma. So this is very simple. We're just going to make like a really simple button. So, okay. I'm going to make it black. And then inside, I'm going to write something. And that's going to have to be white. And let's maybe center it nicely. Okay, I'm just literally going to use it like this. Well, this is a bit big. Maybe can we change the font size? You know what? Let's not go there. What you can do though is actually connect this and make this a component. So this is what I've learned. So now that I created a component out of it, we can actually look at the assets. And then here we have local components. So this thing you can reuse everywhere in your design. So for now, I'm not going to dive in and do more. This is literally it. We don't need more from Figma. So what I've seen, I already connected Zeppelin to Figma. So we can actually go plugins, Zeppelin. Let's see what it does. So it's loading my Zeppelin. So now I have to select what I want to sync, and I want to do export. So now it's launching my Zeppelin local app. Okay, and so I have an amazing web design thing already. So you can see here, this is also amazing web design. I just made 2 projects. So I'm going to be like, okay, let's just export. Let's run with it. Okay, so now it opens Zeppelin. Imported component 1. So I think this is going to be in the style guide components. Yes, I think. Yes. So now what we did, when I click on this, I can actually click on this and inspect it. And it actually says, I am a button. This is my class name. And it has like width and height and font family and stuff like that. I can go into all the specifics that I need. And this is also not a Zeppelin video, so I'm not going to dive deeper into that. But this basically has a local style guide where I have a button that is going to be able to be reused. But then, look here on the side. Connect this component to your components in code and see quick links and stuff like that. So that's what we're going for. So basically this will be the heart, this page here, or maybe color palette or dashboard or whatever. But let's say our style guide is the heart of our project. And I want to be able to link to everywhere from here, right? So turns out there is a a VS Code plugin for VS Code that connects Zeppelin. And then in there, you can actually do a whole bunch. So let's install that. Oh, before we go, why not? I'll show you the button that I built in Storybook. npm run Storybook. Okay. Running. So now it's basically just opening Storybook and there's my button. So this I pre-built. This is just a vue.js button. Very simple. You have some props and an on-click action. There's nothing else. Or you can look at the docs and you can see, like I did nothing else to this. There's no different variations of the button, nothing else. It's just the same as in Figma basically. Right? And I've also already created a Git repository because I want to later on connect Git to my Zeppelin. Okay, so now let's go to VS Code and find this Zeppelin plugin. Okay, so Zeppelin. This is the thing we were just looking at. So, okay, so let's install. Reload. Okay, we just got a little icon here. Okay. This is my design project. So I'm guilty here because a couple of weeks ago, my colleague Brian that showed me this said, hey, just install that VS Code plugin. And so I'm already logged in to my, my Zeppelin. That doesn't mean that I know what I'm doing, but that just, I thought when I uninstalled it and reinstalled it for the video, I would have to log in. But it's smart, nice, it's still there. So basically, this is my amazing design, screens and components, which is basically, this is also the my amazing design project. There we go. And this is the style guide with components. So let's have a look and then we can see components here. Component 1. Let's just open it up. Oh, and it just opened from VS Code into this. That is pretty decent. That's a nice start, right? But I know, and I've seen, you can actually connect all of this code that we see here, my story file here. You can connect this also to Zeppelin. And there is a documentation here. So we looked at this before, right? So basically getting started. So we are using vue.js in this case. So let's just open this tab and try to install it. Okay, so yeah, so they're talking about this configuration file and I've seen that before. So let's go to VS Code and actually try to just type Zeppelin here. Create Zeppelin configuration file. So, okay, I've seen Brian do this. So basically this is the components.json that connects everything together. And I think what you can even do, because there's a Zeplin CLI that I've also previously installed, you can actually, when you hit Zeplin connect, you can connect this file to the files in your code base, right? To Zeplin. So there's like an API connection. So let's add a project. So I am in my personal workspace and you can see all my projects here. So in my amazing design project, I don't think we have a style guide, but we do have components. And then actually now it finds, yeah, this is my local button.view. Yeah, that's my component. Okay. And now, so it found a component with the path to my button. And then we can connect that to a Zeppelin component, which is my component one. Okay. So now I saved it and ESLint or Prettier did something to it. But basically it now created, it knows the project and it knows my components now. I think, however, we can do more here because what I saw when we go back to that vue.js thing is that this, oh yeah. So prepare the configuration file. We just did that. Yeah, we did all of this. Add components from your code base. We did. And then isn't there like, okay, so this is Zeppelin names. Yeah, so the CLI thing, I did that before. And then we have to install the plugin. Okay, this we can do. Then we have to turn off this and install this. While we wait, let's read a bit more. Okay, so we just have to add that plugin to the configuration. Okay, let's do it. Okay, so now it has the Zeplin CLI Connect plugin view. And then what they're saying, oh, here we go. Run the Zeplin CLI, so with the Zeplin Connect. So this is the thing I tried before, so I'm just gonna go and click that now. So I think what it did now is it basically looked at that connection thing, that components.json, and connected it to Zeppelin. So let's open Zeppelin, click on that button, and now we can see there's this my button thing. So this is basically an instance of my code. And it says to, because it probably read my props, so it knows this is a string. And that's pretty decent. So it kind of said, okay, so it's in stories button.view. So when I click this, I wanted to go to Visual Studio Code and open. Whoa, the magic. This is actually my component. It's a pity that it didn't open it in my open project already, but no, it's nice. Let's get back because I think, okay, so this we did. Let me see, this is the Vue.js one, right? Because I saw here, look, we can add repository links, but also Storybook links. I think that's what we want to do first. So let's open Storybook and have a look. Okay, so we're gonna have to install that plugin also. To be honest, it's a pity that it's global installs. I don't really like that. Then again, you know, whatever. I prefer that it's local, so I don't pollute my global scope or whatever. Okay, so it installed that. It's really fast. That's nice. So then I'm gonna have to add my plugin. Okay, we can do this. So another plugin. And they look at localhost 9009, but my thing, I think it ran at 6006. Right? Yeah. Okay, let's see what else, because just with this, I don't think that's going to be enough. Oh, we can also have a remote instance. Okay, so when I output my storybook maybe to whatever, Versal or Netlify, we can link there. That's pretty cool. Okay, so the component stuff, we did this. Yes, we did that too. Ah, but look, there's actually a storybook property. Okay. Let's add this to our Zeppelin names. Actually, I don't like this component one, but I never gave it a nice name in, oh look, whoa. It actually has like a nice view of it. Imagine if this was like a proper component, that looks cool. So it is a design system button, but let's just call it component one because, well, that's actually what it is, right? And it has different stories. So I know I made one story, right? When we look at my stories, I just have the primary, the default one. Or when you look, it actually has, okay, so let's call it primary then. That's the only one that I have. Let's see, do we need to do more? I don't think so. I think we just, we Zeplin connect again. Well, we can do that. Let's connect it. Detected storybook at 6006. Nice. So it found the story. Okay. Oh yeah. Open in storybook. Yeah, that's cool. So now we can actually go from, in this place, we can now go to Storybook, we can go to Visual Studio Code, and we can see our component here. But I know there's more. I know we can also have links to GitHub, and we can have links to, let's say, your wiki and stuff like that. So let's have a look. So here, repository links. I think that's what we want. Let's have a look. I think this is probably not even a plugin. They probably just understand it already. So we can literally just say, okay, oh, that's my mistake. GitHub. Okay, let's put that in. Where did they want it? Below components. And of course, this is timtries, and I made it I called it this one. With that's it? Wait, let's read. I never read, I should read. Because probably it knows this path. So I'm assuming it's just gonna work. Branch, yeah. I actually have master. Oops, it's JSON, not JavaScript. Okay. Let's Zeppelin connect again and see what it added for us. Okay. Okay, there's the GitHub. Let's click. Beam! There's my source stories button.view. What? I like this so much. Man, and it's, you know what? This is also, it's so simple. I want to know if there's more now. Okay, we did this one. Custom links. And then we have style guidist. I don't use that, so probably not. So, but let's have a look what the custom links do. Oh, I can literally choose what it is. Okay, I can have a links property and then say Confluence and then have a URL. Okay. Well, I won't do that now because I don't have a Confluence page, but potentially that's pretty cool. Oh, and then you can add a Confluence property with the URL path. Okay, so the link here for type Confluence is like the base URL, and then you add the URL path. It's basically like the path of your code with the GitHub one. Yeah, okay, that kind of makes sense. So with this, we can open it in Confluence. We can open it in Jira. Maybe we have some other systems. Maybe we can, you know, I'm liking it. Is there anything else we should dive into? I don't think so. I'm already talking for 18 minutes. So let's this is awesome. Right now, my Zeppelin, and imagine this was a rich experience, right? With a lot of content. Imagine how easy it is for a developer to actually have a look and say, okay, this is my thing. This is the props I need. Let's open it in GitHub or in Storybook. Let's open in Storybook. Let's see if my code is actually the same, right? I can put that side by side and actually have a look. And I can see now my padding is probably a little bit off. But what's interesting to me is we also have Figma. And maybe what I want to do is this. Oh, red doesn't work. Okay. Okay, and then we're just going to sync this. Okay, export complete. I don't think I did that right. You know what? Screw it. Doesn't matter. I did too much. Anyways, thank you for watching and I'll see you next time.